And we begin at 5 with an update on that horrific car crash in Beaverton that killed 2 high school students and injured 3 more. The crash just after midnight yesterday when the teen's car struck a vehicle with a sheriff's deputy inside. This evening, we are hearing from the wife of that critically injured deputy for the very first time. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm David Molko.
And I'm Laurel Porter. Mike Benner just spoke with the deputy's wife this afternoon. He joins us by Legacy Emmanuel Hospital. Mike, first of all, how is that deputy doing?
Well, Laurel, the good news is that Deputy Trotter is expected to survive, but we can tell you that he suffered some very serious injuries throughout his entire body, and he has a long road to recovery ahead of him. But his wife will take that because it was not looking good right after this crash yesterday morning. And Heather Trotter shared a little bit with us about the moment deputies knocked on her door. Take a listen.
And I was like, oh my God, is he alive? And he was like, yeah, no, yes. And said, but we don't know his condition. And I was like, oh God, thank you. I was like, okay, breathe. And then made it up the stairs, tried to receive the information that I was given, and we left the house promptly and came here. And
our thoughts are certainly with the Trotter family, as well as with the families of all 5 Southridge High School students involved in this crash. 3 of them were badly hurt, but 2 of them died. And earlier today, we caught up with the cousin of one of those teens who passed away. Take a look.
I miss my cousin.
The cousin of Juan Pacheco Aguilera, one of 2 teens killed in Wednesday morning's crash, speaks to us near the site of a growing memorial.
He was just a really kind person. He was always motivated to do better. He was trying to graduate early. He just always made sure everyone was okay. He put everyone before himself.
It makes what happened all the more upsetting. The 16-year-old Southridge High School student and 4 classmates were in a car that crashed into a SUV driven by a Washington County Sheriff's deputy. This happened at Southwest TV Highway in Murray. That deputy, Michael Trotter, was badly hurt. 3 of the teenagers as well. But Aguilera and 17-year-old Matthew Amaya were killed. Amaya's cousin spoke to us Wednesday evening.
It just brought my world down. Like, I was like, no, my cousin, he was everything I had. He wasn't a cousin, he was more like a brother.
Citing the complexity of the investigation, detectives are saying very little about what happened, only that the car full of teens blew a red light just before the collision.
There's one thing that I want to say to the whole world, especially this community, is drive careful, guys.
Sound advice in the wake of a crash that killed 2 and injured several others, shaking both the law enforcement and Southridge High communities to their core.
I'll always miss my cousin.
Several GoFundMe campaigns have been established to help the victims and their families, and that includes Deputy Trotter. There will be a lot of unforeseen expenses in the wake of this horrible crash, so anything really helps these families. You can find a link to these GoFundMes on our website, KGW.com. In the meantime, I can tell you that CART, or the Crash Analysis and Reconstruction Team for Washington County, is investigating the circumstances of this crash. As we get more information, we'll be sure to pass it along. David?
And we are pulling for Deputy Trotter and those teenagers' families. Thank you, Mike Benner. Appreciate that. Well, let us take you to Portland's Old Town now. It's in need of both repair and revitalization. Crime, vandalism, garbage, you name it. This is a neighborhood that really continues to struggle. You might remember, though, that local business owners came up with a 90-day reset plan where they set some big benchmarks here. Brian Clerkley joins us now in Old Town. And Brian, you got an update today. Bottom line, how's progress?
Yeah, the progress is not great, David. We're halfway through that 90 days and crime is still a huge issue, like homicides and thefts, but there have been some improvements when it comes to cleanliness, like graffiti. But leaders are saying that the county and the city need to get involved as soon as possible.
I mean, the past 2 years in Old Town have been real treacherous, I'm not going to lie.
Old Town organizations and business owners came together for a look at progress halfway into a 90-day reset plan. The goals include reducing property crime, removing graffiti, making sidewalks more accessible, and improving safety. Ian Williams owns Dead Stock Coffee.
My nephew's car has been stolen. He manages our shop 3 times. Other people in our shop's cars have been stolen from in front of the shop in the middle of the day, during the daylight.
When it comes to what still needs to happen, Old Town neighborhood leaders say abandoned cars still need to be removed, and there's only been a moderate decline in tents on the streets.
And the homicides that happen are almost exclusively, if not exclusively, our homeless population. And it's because we can no longer differentiate between the predator and the prey.
Jesse Burke owns the Society Hotel and chairs the Old Town Community Association.
The goal for Old Town is that we need no human living on the sidewalk. It is not safe, and I will not pretend that even a small decline in our tents is improving our safety here.
Burke says sidewalk accessibility is still an issue, but says the city has made progress removing graffiti. That goal was met on time.
I get a lot of communication response from city commissioners. I don't get the same response from the county. And I'm tired of the county getting a pass on this. Public health is the county's responsibility.
And we did get a response from the county on this. Multnomah County says in a statement that it's a mischaracterization to say the county is not doing what it agreed. There have been contracts signed with the Mental Health and Addiction Association of Oregon and Blanchet House, and the county is working with mental health organizations to get more resources down here to Old Town. David, Laurel.
Thank you, Bryant. Also on the topic of Portland's safety, the city's street response program could soon get a major expansion and move to round-the-clock service. Mayor Ted Wheeler said it will be in his annual budget proposal next week. Street response started in southeast Portland's Lentz neighborhood and went citywide last month. The Oregonian reports if the mayor gets his way, it will operate 24/7 by the fall and add staff. PSR is designed to provide an unarmed response to nonviolent behavioral and mental health calls. A small team that includes crisis counselors and paramedics are sent in place of police.
In my commitment to public safety reform and refocusing, it's been my top priority to make sure that calls go to the right emergency responders. For Portlanders experiencing mental and behavioral health crises, an unarmed trained specialist has proven to be the best practice.
The team currently operates 14 hours a day. The mayor's announcement follows a Portland State study that found the program was successful in its first year. It accounted for a roughly 4% reduction in total calls that police would normally respond to.
Well, let's talk about education in Oregon's largest school district. Portland Public Schools now proposing a $1.8 billion budget for next school year. And with so many people worried about learning loss during the pandemic, the superintendent says really this is a big investment. So part of the plan, district leaders say, leverages more than $100 million in state funding and federal one-time COVID relief money for everything from addressing unfinished learning to providing mental health supports. There are also plans to reduce class sizes to no more than 30 students.
We do expect to see average class sizes of 22 students in first, second, and third grade classrooms. In fourth grade, 23. In fifth grade, 24 students. These averages will be even lower across our underserved schools.
And for both special education and all students, the superintendent says they also plan to provide the largest summer programming in state history, spending more than $12 million.
Moderna is asking the FDA to authorize its COVID vaccine for children 5 and younger. The FDA is expected to make a final decision in June. The 2-dose vaccine is 1/4 of the dosage given to adults. It'll be available to kids as young as 6 months old. Clinical trials show the Moderna vaccine was 43% effective in kids under 2 and 37% in children 2 to 5 years old. Still, some doctors say it helps prevent serious illness.
Vaccinating our children against natural infection is certainly very safe and very effective. And we don't need a pandemic to remember that we don't want our children to suffer infection or its consequences. So please get vaccinated.
Pfizer is preparing to submit data to the FDA as well for its vaccine for kids under 5. Overall, vaccination rates for older children remain low, and polling shows many parents are hesitant to get children under 5 vaccinated right away, if at all.